WLS.
Join us today at 5, the WLS Sports pregame show.
More of the craziness from Super Bowl week in the Big Easy.
Plus the top 5 at 5.
John Cass, Lauren Cohn, 89 WLS. We're talking about this lousy economy, lousy jobs, people hurting, and all this regulation that kills jobs.
Yeah, it is lousy. The jobs report is going to come out Friday. And
when my grandfather lost his restaurant, Pete's Lunch, he lost it in the Depression. And he came home one day. They were on welfare for like a day. He couldn't take it. So he comes back. He goes back downtown and finds a peanut wagon. And he paints it and polishes it. It's got peanuts and popcorn. And he picks it up and he rolls it down to the park. And my grandmother was ashamed, right? Businessman now pushing a peanut wagon. And she was sad and crying. And he stayed there all day. He had a good personality and a big heart.
Wanted to support his family.
He comes home and he starts pulling out the quarters and the nickels and the dimes. And all the kids had to sit down and he just said, start rolling these up. And they rolled them up, in like the quarter rolls and nickel. And my grandmother started crying even more because she realized that he did something for his family, and they had money, and they were going to make it. Now, you can't do that today because you have to go to the mayor's office, pay off your alderman, all the different regulations. Oh, where are these peanuts coming from? Is the popcorn 100 degrees or 7,000? Whatever, all the nonsense and BS that gets in the way. When we come back, John Cass, Lauren Cohn, 89 WLS, we're going to be talking about my favorite subject, air in a can.
See what we're talking about at WLSAM.com. Plus, get the latest from the Weather Channel, on-demand traffic, photo and video galleries, and more. Everything you need is at WLSAM.com.
John Cass, Chicago, Lauren Cohn, 89 WLS. Lauren, when you're outside and, say, the air doesn't smell so good, when the factories were booming and they were shooting sulfur all up in the air and people were actually working in the steel mills on the southeast side of Chicago, sometimes you'd look and you'd see gray skies even on a sunny day. You knew people were working, but you wanted some fresh air. And you're craving it.
So what if you could actually get your hands on something?
How does that work?
So in China, Chen Guangbao, I apologize, Mr. Guangbao, if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly,
Guangbao
has decided to sell canned fresh air. And if you ever seen some of the pictures from Beijing, everybody's walking around with a mask on their face. So
is that from SARS or eating civets or something?
Right. So he's going to the outskirts, waving a can up in the air, capping it off, selling this to the people. By the way, did I mention that he's a multi-millionaire entrepreneur? I think he's worth like $500 million.
All right, so how does this work? I'm hooked on lemon Pellegrinos, okay? Mm-hmm. The San Pellegrino lemonades.
Right.
So, okay, I have that in one hand. Now I want some fresh air, and I open a flip top of air, and I just put my big fat Greek nose in the middle of it.
And you got some fresh air. And I guess apparently they're trying to put some, reportedly, allegedly, some flavoring in this.
Flavored air?
Pristine Tibet, post-industrial Taiwan. Yeah.
So, in other words, pristine Tibet. It smells like what? Like like Richard Gere's hair or something? What does it smell like?
It's that fresh, when you go, that fresh green air smell they sell in those air freshener cans.
Okay.
It smells like...
This, of course, everything prompts another story, okay, from the old storyteller, but I got to tell you, and I got to let everybody in on a secret who's listening. There's a secret involving fresh air in cans at the Tribune.
What is the secret?
Nice. The secret is that there's a product. When I heard about the fresh air in the can,
yep.
There's another product out of Germany. It's called basically cow farts in a can. Okay?
Really?
And
how much does that cost?
I don't know. What is it? You're online there. I can't get.
I'll look it up.
It's cow farts in a can. You can buy basically German cow gases, and they're in a can.
German cows
from Germany, and you pay I don't know how many kroner or whatever the heck they marks or whatever, and they come from cows, and you open it up and you smell a little bit of the country barnyard. So every time I want to write, if I have trouble writing a column, which is every day, I say, I'll tell an editor, my editor, Mark Jacob, say, you know what, this might be the day I write cow farts in the can. And immediately, as soon as I say that, it goes to the newsroom, and all the editors are like, no, and I start getting millions and gazillions of great tips and ideas.
So I'm homesick for my country farm, and so you're going to put the stable smell and the straw.
Do you see it there? How does it work?
That's what it basically.
Tell us about
the cans cost whatever.
5 kroner, 5 marks,
a pop. Yeah. So that's basically what you're going to do.
And does it?
I see a whole business starting in this, and we were talking about how people need jobs.
Cow farts.
So you wherever your home is, and you miss the smell of home, put it in a can and ship it to the people that might be wanting it.
Don't sell that short. I mean, I'll have editors running around, but
don't we all need some fresh air?
When we moved out of the city when we were little and moved to what we thought was the suburbs country of Oak Lawn, my brothers and I would take, those little watch caps, those blue woolen watch caps?
Right.
We would take those and dip them into the wet snow. And then they would get really wet, and then we'd breathe them, smell them. And it would smell like basically lamb wool, right? It smells like wool. And we would breathe them and say,
like fresh car smell. You could bottle that.
It would be the neighborhood, though.
Wow.
Because it would smell like the stockyards, which were right by my house.
You want to know the problem with this, John? Once you get rid of all those cans, that's just pollution. Once we have all this fresh air or cow whatever in a can, then you got to get rid of the cans.
Would President Obama create a regulatory agency to stop cow farts in a can? Would they have to eat only peculiar grasses indigenous to pristine meadows in the United States?
You could do the car smell in a can. Right? There are all kinds of creative things.
Elmwood Park. Sean, do you want to get into the cow farts in a can business?
I'll tell you, my brain, it's just wonderful. This is the beauty of capitalism. First of all, I think you're trying to sell sauerkraut as cow farts in a can. But secondly, I'm from Melrose Park. You know how many Melrose Parkers are out there? If I put meatballs and leather in a can, I could sell Melrose Park all over again.
And Kittyland. Kittyland in a can.
The beauty of capitalism is this is a choice, right? This Oriental fella, he puts this up. If people buy it, they buy it. That, to me, is better than forcing fake safety in a can that Rahm Emanuel and these politicians sell, whether it's health care or gun laws or whatever the case is. They're giving you the choice. If you want to be a pigeon and buy fresh air in the can, God bless you. You want to burn up $10, it's up to you. But to extract that money at the false sense of security and health is criminal to me. So I wanted to tie the 2 hours together, plus I haven't been on the radio in a day and I get jittery. So I figured I'd
We miss you, man. I just think I would like to start my own cow farts in the can business, and we could sell different neighborhoods too. Stockyards.
We got to sell. We've got
by
to
parish, like Visitation Parish, and everyone.
It's the next wave of environmental messages out there.
Huh?
Save the environment.
Melrose Park. What would it be? Meatballs and leather, you said?
Meatballs and leather. It's got the smell of gravy and beatings in the air. It's perfect.
What would you have from New York, Lauren?
Oh, wow. You just gave me a whole subway. How about here in the subway?
New York subway, before they push you off into the rails.
In the summer when it's really hot.
Yeah, nothing like it.
How about Euros and Vaseline? That would be New York.
Okay, we can't go there, Sean, because I don't think Vaseline has a smell. But
listen, I just read an interesting thing online, John. I have to share. The cows farting and burping have been accused of causing global warming problems. This is an environmental issue.
So cow farts in a can would not only prompt the editors of the Tribune to help me with another idea, so I don't have to write it, but it would also be weapons of mass destruction.
Exactly.
John Kess, Lauren Cohn, back after this.
As president of Planet Spaceball, I can assure both you and your viewers that there's absolutely no air shortage whatsoever. Yes.
89 WLS.
Fleetwood Mac, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. They love that.
You know, I'm looking outside and I'm seeing the snow flurries. You know what it makes me think of? Football. Big weekend coming up. You got plans?
You know, it's the annual commercial ball. That's where people sit around and watch commercials on TV. That's when they shut up.
But you and I do it for the food.
During the game, they talk and they don't pay attention. The commercials, everybody in the house shuts up.
Right.
But what do they want to do when they're not staring at the commercials and wondering if Danica Patrick is going to get naked?
We want to eat good food. And we want to know, excuse me, we want to know what you're cooking up.
I want to know.
I want to know what you're cooking up for the Super Bowl.
Well, what are you cooking?
I keep hearing about what a great chef you are.
Let me show you one more trick. Use a piece of wax paper, put it on top of the meat, and club it with a 2x4. Works great, saves you a fortune. You didn't think I'd do it, did you? Look at it go. Okay, we're done.
Was this part of a court deposition, or is this a cooking show? Yeah, Frugal Gourmet. Yeah, I haven't heard that. Julia Child likes to pound that meat too, especially the veal cutlets.
So the rumor is you're cooking beer can chicken.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm an expert.
Not air can.
I am the expert of beer can chicken, no doubt about it. You can go online, put my name in there, and chicken, beef, grilling, Christmas, holiday, whatever, you'll find stuff. I think that I like to cook because you know why? Because my sons like to eat. I've got two beasts. They eat 20,000 calories a day, and they're skinny and tall.
But you got to make something special and good for the Super Bowl.
Well, we're going to help you out with that. Maybe tomorrow.
We want to hear from you.
We're going to be on a break right now. We'll be back after this.
All you need to make an omelet is a hot fire. And you need a bowl, and you need some butter, and some salt and pepper, and some eggs.
89 WLS. 89 WLS.
John Cass, Lauren Cohn, wrapping up kind of weird, important day, though, with all this stuff going on. And tomorrow, you're going to listen to this show, and then what are they going to want to do after they hear our show, Lauren?
They're going to want to go out and eat because we're going to be talking about the yummy recipes that all of you are going to tell us about tomorrow that you're cooking up for the Super Bowl.
And actually, we're going to tell you what to eat, okay? And it starts with sour cream, Mrs. Grass onion soup dip mix, the Southside delicacy. But we're going to have other things, too. All right, I might give you my secrets, a little trade secret.
I can't wait.
Right? As long as it involves everything that's bad for you.
And a little splash of good.
And a little splash of good from Lauren. Like, I guess I'm going to have to eat some vegetable chips or some nonsense.
I think we're going to try and get you to taste some kale chips in the near future.
Kale chips, yeah. Awesome. Listen, John Cass, Lauren Cohn, 89 WLS. 22 hours from now. See ya. Be there.
Give me 700 Krusty Burgers!